I love desserts. Red velvet cake, what's your stance?
Love it.
Okay,
I mean,
fantastic.
she's just chocolate.
Okay, essentially.
she's chocolate with a dye job.
Chocolate with a dye job! Oh my
Yes.
God, I literally
Yes.
want to say that!
Yeah. We'll argue about desserts more in a bit. But first, let's talk about you. Hi, welcome to the show. Tell viewers, listeners who you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Pinnock. Hey! You can watch me on CBS's Ghost and watch it Thursdays, 8:30 p.m., also on Paramount+. I am an actor and multi-hyphenate writer, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, at Body Courage if you want to laugh.
That was good.
Yeah, you know.
That was real good. I love it. I was watching a bunch of your show to get ready for this chat.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I was like, I've watched 8 episodes of this thing.
It goes by quick.
Well, it's so interesting. You know, so much of my coverage is like talking to folks who are doing streaming and these prestige dramas where it's like a rich white lady in trouble and they drag it out for 10 episodes.
Which is my favorite genre.
It's my favorite, but I realize the sense of timing in those shows is so different from Ghost. And I like the way y'all run y'all ship because it's tight, it moves, there's a joke density. Bring back half hours?
I know. And 22 episodes. I mean, we are so lucky to still be working. I mean, and we just recently were picked up for season 5 and 6, which is unheard of in the entertainment industry right now. And so thank you for helping me pay into my mother's retirement.
There you go.
But we're just really grateful to still be on the air.
But
really
it got
are.
renewed because it's such a popular show. I was looking. It is one of the top 20 shows on all of TV.
Yes.
And y'all average about like 12 million viewers.
It's nuts.
That's wild.
It's nuts. It really is. And I don't think because we shoot the show in Montreal.
Really?
And so I don't think we realize how big the show is until we get stateside. Like I remember I was on a Delta flight heading back to LA and somebody next to me was watching it. And I was like, oh, that's
on
really
the plane.
cool.
That's amazing.
And then she literally did this double take of like, do people tell you look just like her? I was like, I am her.
What did she react?
She was like,
that is so cool.
She started screaming, and then the flight attendant was like, is everything okay? And she was like, that's Alberta. And the flight attendant was like, oh my gosh, we watched your show. So it like turned into this whole thing. And I was like, okay, yes, come on, popularity, I'm into it.
I love it. So for those who aren't watching it, what is Ghosts?
Okay.
It's obviously about ghosts, but say more.
Okay, so essentially, Sam and Jay, they inherit this home that is not haunted by ghosts. We're essentially roommates. And Sam played by Rose McIver, is the only one that can see us. And these ghosts range from just, me, Alberta, who's a 1920s Prohibition era ghost. She is a hot mess with a heart of gold.
And a singer and a dancer.
And a singer, dancer, true triple threat.
Yes.
Okay, true triple threat.
Yes.
I'd like to say that she's also a hidden figure in some ways.
Yes.
But we also have a Revolutionary War ghost played by Brandon Scott Jones Isaac, and so many. There's a hippie who is just like power to the people, played by Sheila Carrasco, and there's so many others. I think this show is doing so well because it is fun for the whole family, and also we kind of are like your family members as well, and I think that's why, my grandmothers in her church group are obsessed with it, as well as my little cousins. And so
I love it.
I just love, I love going to work. Even 5 seasons later, it's like summer camp. And,
Really?
a lot of times when you're on TV that long, it's like you hear about these cast rivalries and all this stuff. We truly are family. And so it's just the best job ever and truly an answered prayer.
I love it.
Yeah.
Answered prayer. Say more about that.
Oh my gosh. For so long in my career, for 20 plus years, I was like hustling. I was a journeyman actor. I did theater for a long time, off Broadway, overseas, in Chicago, at Goodman and Second City and things like that. But also in a lot of basements. Also getting paid in pizza for a lot of it. Or like working these really shady side jobs. Like I worked for Girl Scouts of America packing the Thin Mints.
Wait, that's the job?
That's an entire job. Oh, yes.
Where did you do
I
it?
will never eat a Girl Scout cookie again.
Wait, stop.
But I do want to write a TV show about that experience because I had a blast. I did have a blast.
I want you to take 2 minutes and tell me more about that because I'm intrigued.
Oh my God.
I'm intrigued.
So I started off as a receptionist there. It was in Chicago. And the calls that I would get that were so funny were like, I need my lifetime pin. I haven't gotten it. I turned 95 years old. And when am I going to get my lifetime pin? I'm like, the pin is on its way. I promise you. Like these are like, and they were dead serious.
Really? So lifetime Girl Scouts.
Lifetime Girl Scouts.
Wow.
And then they were like, the moms are like, my daughter's in a brownie group and we're missing the spelling bee pin and what's going on. And so it was just like trying to
putting out fires.
Putting out the immediate most important fires. But then they also, because it was the central to Chicago. They had like a little museum there as well.
Okay.
So I would take people on the tours, and I'm like, and this is the reason you haven't seen a black person, because this was segregated at that time. But at this time, the blacks were in. Like, essentially.
Yeah.
But I was a Girl Scout growing up, I made it to brownies, and then I just kind of was like, I'm over it. But it's so funny to see how the different troops work, because I was in essentially an all black troop.
Okay.
And so rather than like, camping and stuff, we were learning how to do steps. Like, we were just
I love it.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
love it.
double dutch and all that stuff.
Yes.
And yes, we would get into sewing and things like that, but we're just like having Black Girl Magic parties and stuff. But yeah.
And you were stuffing Thin Mints, you said.
And stuffing. Okay, so this is when it got crazy.
Yeah.
Because then they would do these massive events, and they would need like thousands of boxes. And so then there was a basement.
Uh-huh.
And that is where all of the cookies are held. Like, they're like, all of them. And so for a majority of that time, I was like packing the boxes and getting them ready for these huge, massive corporate events.
Yeah.
And it was dark in that basement, and we had flashlights, and it was really like, compared to the upstairs, which was like light and bright and fun, I was like, oh, we're actually in hell. This is wild. I was like, okay. But I had a blast. Every job I've been to, like, I worked in foreclosure for a bit. I think that firm was probably run by the mafia at some point, because anytime it was time for lunch, they'd be like, we need you to leave. And these men in like trench coats would come in. I'm like, okay, there's illegal activity happening, but that's fine. I worked at my mother's law firm. She actually was the one that trained me up. Like, I was doing child work for her as a 13-year-old. And so I'd be like, filing and answering phones and doing all that.
So you knew how to work.
Yeah, always. I've always a worker bee. I think that's also just part of my Jamaican heritage, is like, I've had multiple jobs since I was like 10 years old. And so,
was there ever a moment in doing all those jobs, working for so long to get such a big and steady job, did you ever think about quitting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And quitting those jobs as well, too. I think my last job before, I guess, the big break, I worked for Actors Equity as an audition monitor. And at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do any more of these office jobs. I need to just start scamming. That was essentially kind of like, I need to find out when these auditions are, and I need a job that can tell me these things in advance.
Yeah.
And so I worked as an audition monitor. Mm-hmm. And at that time, you had to have a card that said that you were part of the union. Mm-hmm. And it was also a way for me to sneak my non-union friends into these auditions. And I'd be like, just show me your debit card and get in there. Go audition for ragtime. Hurry up. And so that was like a great gig for me to kind of find out what was happening nationwide.
Oh,
and
you could see what was going on.
I literally was in there like Olivia Pope, looking at the databases of like, okay, great, Privates of Penzance, not sure if that's for me. But Neil Abute, maybe if they're doing, an all-black cast, I could pop into that. Come on, Raisin in the Sun. Like, literally. Wow. And so I would audition on my lunch breaks and then go back in. And a lot of those things I got called back for. And the one that got me my job in Los Angeles, there was a Whitney Cummings pilot in like 2016 that I auditioned for. Okay. And they pulled me out of Chicago, and the black car showed up in the hood and picked me up. And I was like, y'all better come here at 4 a.m. because I don't want people to think that I'm rich. I was like, get this car out of here. Put me in a really fancy hotel in Santa Monica. I went and auditioned, lost the role to a YouTuber who won the cinnamon challenge. She ate a spoonful of cinnamon and went viral for it, and she got a role on HBO. And the casting director was like, you know what? You should move to LA. You have talent, you're trained. And so I went to my little side hustle at Actors Equity. I saw they were doing an audition that was being directed by Colman Domingo. It was barbecue at the Geffen Playhouse in LA. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to scam. I'm going to go.
Really?
And I took a Spirit Airlines flight.
Ooh,
for those that may not know what Spirit is, it's essentially a lawn chair with wings.
Greyhound in the sky, but worse.
Bus people. And so I stayed with my homegirl Millie, slept top to tail on her twin mattress. And the issue for me wasn't that like I didn't have an audition appointment. My homegirl had ran out of lotion, so I'd lathered myself in extra virgin olive oil. Girl. And so when I arrived to the Geffen, I was sweating like Whitney in the 90s. Like, it was nuts. I got there. I memorized the play in its entirety. Colman came in, and he was like, hey, like, where are you from? I'm still living in Chicago at that point. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know any areas in LA. And so I was like, I'm from Shermanize. And
Shermanize.
And it got a lot of laughs. I was like, I don't know why this joke is funny, but great, it's working.
Yeah.
And I did the audition, and he loved it, and he asked if I wanted to be an understudy, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so I flew up to Los Angeles and did that job.
I love that.
And it was amazing. But in terms of quitting, right before I booked Ghosts, that was when I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I'd been in LA maybe for like 4 years and I booked like great guest star roles, but I was still waiting on that series regular. And right before the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm done acting.
You're going to be done.
I was like,
what
I
was
can't.
plan B?
You know, there was no plan B.
Okay.
Like literally none. It was this HBO pilot, another HBO pilot. I'm like, HBO, all these pilots y'all have done that I have not been in, like we got to get one of these things going.
Yeah.
And I remember auditioning. It was a screen test. And I did so well. And by the time I got to the car, my manager called and was like, they booked it. Someone just booked the role. And I'm like, I just left.
Yeah.
I literally just left.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm not going to act anymore. And in the pandemic, that's when Ghosts came. And I was like, well, maybe, you know, I've just been in the house making focaccia bread. Let me just put something on tape. And then my life changed.
I love that. Describe your character on Ghost, the one that you auditioned for.
Alberta is a 1920s Prohibition era ghost. She truly is a hot mess with a heart of gold. But this season, what I like how she's evolved in the last 5 years is that we also get to see more of her vulnerability. You know, she was tough as nails, you know, and also a true diva. You know, she wants everyone to hear her sing all the time.
She'll just burst into song.
Yeah, at any moment. But the thing also that I love about this role, it is really, every season I've had to learn a new skill. Like, we could do a table read on Friday, and by Monday, I have to be an expert at tap or, you know, jazz or singing. And this year, there's a new skill that Alberta I had to be trained in for her character, which is really
a performance skill.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to go to school for it, and it is really exciting.
All right.
So, I say that she's a hidden figure because that time for Black people, 1920s was just such a luscious, delicious, just we were thriving in the arts. She dated bootleggers and all this stuff. But this season, she's dating Pete, who is, you know, our Boy Scout.
I love it.
And he's very different. And so getting to see their romance blossom this season is really exciting. They're essentially the Nick and Elantria of the house.
I love it. How do you play a ghost differently than playing a live person? Is there a difference?
Oh, yes. There's a massive difference. First of all, that outfit, we don't change. And so it's like, which is great for me because I cannot stand a fitting. Like, I love, that is essentially our uniform. I'm in that crushed velvet 24/7, which I love. And red is my colors. I'm like, okay, this works. But the other thing is we can't touch things. We cannot eat, you know, which is very interesting because like when we have these flashbacks when we're alive, I remember the first flashback I ever had and I had a microphone I couldn't touch and they were like, you're alive now, Danielle, remember that. Alberta's alive. And I was like, oh yes, I can touch props and things like that.
That probably changes how you have to deliver the words because you don't have your body to express as much.
Yeah, and we can touch each other as ghosts.
Yeah,
but we can't touch Sam or Jay.
Really?
Which I always, because Sam is, you know, essentially our mom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like she herds us, and so it's tough. It really is, but it's exciting.
Yeah,
you know, it's a nice challenge. I just hope for other jobs that I don't bring that same energy. Where I'm just like,
I'm not touching anything.
What can I do? What can I do?
You'd be great for radio.
I'm ready.
We don't touch.
Ready and set. Are you kidding? My pitch for season 6, and I don't know if Joe Port and Joe Wiseman are into it, but I want Alberta to come out with an album.
Yes, ma'am.
The thing is, though, her superpower is that she can hum and the livings can hear her. And so I was like, maybe it's like on that like Andre tip of just like it's an all album of humming.
I like that. I would listen.
We'll say.
CBS, get on this.
Get on it.
Okay? Now. I was listening to you on a podcast, and you talked about the audition you did for Ghost. You sent in 2 self-tapes.
Yes, I did.
One reading the lines, and one giving a little extra.
Yeah. I always do that.
Really?
I always, especially for comedy, because I never know if the producers are looking for improvisers. And some of them, you know, it's very Aaron Sorkin, so they're like, stick to the script.
I gave you these words,
Shonda
you read them.
Stick to that script, every comma, every full stop.
Also, with those 2, there's no space for extra words.
Yeah.
So many words.
Yeah, exactly. And so I do always do a take that is right to the script. But then I do one where I add a little improv.
Yeah.
And I'm like 1920s. I was like, I was using like all of the vocabulary from that time period and also like people she may have been friends with.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about me and Langston Hughes being besties
All right.
and like me and Bessie Smith and rivalries and things like that. And so, yeah, I will always do that. I think actors should do that as well too.
Yeah.
Give them some options.
Give them some options. That's the kind of wisdom that it feels like you might have picked up when you were doing some work in casting.
Yes.
I was listening, and you have been on like both sides of the casting table, couch, whatever you call it. You were interning for a casting company.
Yeah, Cindy Tolan.
Yeah.
She was incredible.
What did that teach you about how to audition, and how did it change the way that you audition?
It taught me not to take it personally.
Okay.
Because I truly realized, like, once you do that audition, you have no control after.
Yeah.
You have to kind of relinquish it because it can be down to, you can get a role because you remind someone of their aunt. You can get a role, yes, because of skill, or you can get a role due to availability. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different factors.
Yeah.
And so you just do that audition and relinquish it and just move on to the next.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I learned at that job specifically was really the business of acting. You know, how things are cast, how producers think, the behind the scenes of like getting ready for the audition. At that time when headshots, I like what photographer to go with, you know what I mean? And all of those things. But what I love about Cindy Tolan is like she really did take me under her wing, and any question that I had, she was willing to answer. And so I love you, Cindy, and Adam, and we had so much fun.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you were saying on a podcast talking about this time doing casting work. You're like, it's hard to overstate this. Be on time.
Be on time.
Don't wear too much cologne. Like the basics.
Yes. Do not do any of those extra things. And also now it's changed because there are not that many in-person auditions anymore, just like post-pandemic.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these things that I learned, you know, now they're happening on Zoom, but the rules, they still apply.
Yeah.
They still just come in, know your lines.
Yeah.
You know, makes just strong choices. That's all you can do.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
be professional.
Well, and like professional, I found the older I get, professional just means
Reliable.
be easy to work with and be reliable.
Be reliable.
Like you don't give people a headache.
Yeah.
Like most of us aren't good enough to be divas.
Yeah, exactly.
Be nice.
Yes.
Show up.
Yes.
No fuss, no muss. Be reliable.
Yeah, and be yourself too. I think when I was coming up, you know, when you go to drama school and graduate programs, they're like, at that time, they're like, have your business cards, have your da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that's just doing a little too much because, like, how many people are actually going to, like, take your business card and do that, especially now?
Yeah.
But what I will say, the equivalent now is, like, you know, also create your own content. You know, whether it is a podcast or whether it is on, you know, TikTok and Instagram, whatever the thing is you do, because these casting directors and these producers, they're online.
They look.
You know, and
look.
a lot of people, they may not have known that I was on Young Sheldon, but they may have seen me in a series that I did with my best friend online called #Booked. You know, and they were like, oh my God, that's the girl from that. Or like Mrs. Claus, you know, like some of these characters of Parisian Bedbug that I would do online. They're like, oh wait, that's the girl on Ghost, you know? And so just like continue to create and make your own lane as well.
Yeah. Your character in Ghost, you talked about in an LA Times piece a few years ago how you worked really hard and still work really hard to make sure that this character doesn't fall into any mammy stereotypes or tropes.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that when I was watching it, but how hard has that been?
It's been great because you know what? Our writers, they make sure I don't fall into that as well too. And Joe Port and Joe Wiseman, you know, these are two white men, our showrunners.
Yeah.
And they're like, especially season 1 and 2, they were like always asking questions of like, how should we shape her? And what do you think about this? And does this joke
Were you
land?
giving rewrites or edits for the role?
Not necessarily rewrites or edits, but they would allow me to improvise.
Okay.
Which was great. And so they'd be like, what would you do? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, great. And so I had a lot of freedom in that way, but they're incredible collaborators and our writers are just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they're also preparing me for success outside of this show because as a Black plus size woman, I am now seen as a romantic lead because of all the relationships that Alberta has had for 5 seasons. I mean, one with Lamorne Morris, who is a dream to work with, and so many others. And so on a show, I think for a lot of my career, I was doing these roles that were like occupationally driven, where it's like the sassy librarian or the sassy truck driver, the sassy receptionist is like, hold please, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But this character is fully realized, and not only does she have all these romantic interests, she's also extraordinarily talented as well too. And so that's, I think,
it's pretty good.
That's the thing.
It's pretty good. Yeah, you had said before that you looked to Black actresses from years before and noticed how the space you have in this role is just bigger and wider.
It is.
You had mentioned Hattie McDaniels won an Oscar for her work.
Yes.
But she had to perform a certain way at that time, and she couldn't express a full range of emotion.
Yeah. And that was also during a time in history where there was like a law that said Black people can only have this many lines on TV or this many lines on film, or else you will get fined.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And so it's like I don't exist without Hattie McDaniels. You know, I also don't exist without the women who are paving the way now. Yvette Nicole Brown, Kimberly Hebert, like Natasha Rothwell. Like there are so many. Davon Joy Randolph. There are so
who you went
many.
To school with.
Yes, who I mean that is that's my girl. But without them, you know, they've paved the way for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every time, you know, one of us kind of passes the torch, it just makes the road bigger for someone else.
I love that. I love that. You know, it's so interesting to talk about representation right now because I feel like as someone who has covered entertainment for many years now, the conversation around representation in Hollywood has changed so much in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I remember post George Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Every executive was talking the talk,
we were gonna be on the new Black Dawson's Creek
all day.
Yeah, that's why I moved to LA. 2016. I mean, I was like, I'm gonna be the plus size Issa Rae. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cast me in Seventh Heaven, the Black reboot.
Exactly.
You know, like it was just all of that.
And then now it's different. Does it feel different to you?
Oh, it feels vastly different.
I turn on Netflix.
Yeah.
And the first few shows they show me, I'm like, oh, it's really just white people.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah, I remember coming to LA and it was just like Kenya Barris and Lena Waithe and Issa Rae. And this is the reason I moved here, because I'm like, diversity was on the rise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now it just feels like, But you know what the thing is? Even when it doesn't matter, because the industry has erased us many times before and we've thrived every time.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you
And
go.
so I'm like, it's just this is why I keep saying continue to create.
Yes. And it's cyclical, you know.
Every time.
As much as I am like, what's happening
Exactly.
to...
The industry, it's like BBLs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say more.
The industry's like BBL. 1 minute is hot, 1 minute's not, but I'm telling you, it's going to come back.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. It's going to come back around.
And listen, quiet as it's kept, everyone loves a Black sitcom.
Period.
I grew up in the 90s.
Yeah,
we all were
exactly.
watching them.
Exactly.
And there were so many. Even
so many.
LL Cool J had one.
Oh.
Everybody had one.
What was your favorite?
I mean, I will say A Different World was so ahead of its time.
Yes, it was.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air close second.
Yeah.
I was down with hanging with Mr. Cooper. I want to talk about the work you've been doing on body positivity, inclusivity. It's called Body Courage.
Yes.
Describe it. What is that?
So essentially, Body Courage was a one-woman show that I was doing for over the course of 5 years.
Okay.
And it was based in my work in documentary theater. So Anna Devere Smith is a mentor of mine.
That's a good mentor to have.
I mean, the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah.
When I was 19 years old, I did documentary theater. And essentially what that is you go out, interview people, transcribe those interviews, and perform as them on stage.
Oh, wow.
And the fun part is when they come to see you as them, they're like,
see
you got that
words.
right.
Yeah.
Or like, you kind of need to work on that walk a little bit. And so I'd been doing that work since I was 19.
Okay.
And then when I got to graduate school at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire in the UK, we had to do a dissertation. And I said, I want my dissertation to be on body image because it is quite literally both a generational curse and blessing in my family. Like we all, you know, whether it's like eating disorders or, you know, like trouble with weight or, you know, just things like that, or just like negative self-esteem or things like that. And so I was like, I want to explore this in a wider lens. And so I interviewed 5 women for the first project. And then over the course of 5 years, it turned into 350 plus interviews.
Wow.
Where I included like trans men and women, non-binary people, men and women who were in the Olympics that were taking steroids and like, you know, all kinds of things, like a Northern Irish priest who was suffering from early onset Parkinson's, little girls on the south side of Chicago, and I would perform them. And I would do these little shows in basements in Chicago or on stage. And I ended up in 2016 performing the world premiere at Rivendell Ensemble, and it was incredible. It was about 16 interviews based on the 350, 90-minute show, and that set off my entire journey with, to be honest, because I wasn't trying to be in the body positivity movement. I think for me, it's more body acceptance because our bodies are going to evolve over the years. And, and so it's like accepting what state you're in at that time. If there's something you want to improve it. But like, I think for the most part, like we just have to get comfortable knowing that we're going to change.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Yeah. And so that's really the work that I want to do. And that show changed my life. And my hopes is next year, it will be its 10th anniversary, is to put it back up just for the 10th anniversary, just so to see if I can, work the characters again. But that show changed my life. It did.
I love that. I have been seeing all these articles and think pieces talking about how just the rise of Ozempic has entirely changed the conversation around body positivity.
It has.
How has it changed it for you?
I think it's so funny because I think during the pandemic, even as an actor, because Lizzo was so popular, I would see casting breakdowns that would say, we need a Lizzo type, and I was like, okay, plus size girls are in.
Let's go.
Okay, because that was another part of the diversity conversation. Like, it wasn't just like black people and people of color.
Different kinds of bodies.
It was bodies as well, too. And so that's why on an Old Navy commercial, you're seeing a plus size girl doing a backflip. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these things. Or like size inclusive fashions. And so my goddaughter, Samira, she is a real body positivity, size inclusivity champion. And like, she'll go into department stores and be like, why are we having to wear Snoopy pajamas? Like, what's going on with all this plaid all the time? And so that's another level of inclusivity that I think is really important as well. But we were in for a little bit. The plus size girls were in, when Lizzo had her run, that first album, like, it was nuts. And so I hope for more of that also in the future, for us to be considered for more roles outside of just what we look like. And so I look to women like Davondra Randolph, who just is a master of the craft and so transformative. And like, seeing her, it's like, okay, yes, I can transform. And hopefully, someone gives me a chance to do that after Ghost.
I know so many folks that are taking Ozempic or have taken it before and dealing with that, talking about it.
Because the girls are going back to factory settings. Like, I mean, it's nuts.
Does that disturb you?
It's, because
there's some people where it's like,
they need it for the health too. You know what I mean? But like, for me, it's like, whatever you want to do with your body, do that with your body. Like, I'm not the person that's going to be like, no, you shouldn't do this, or no. If you need it, if you are a diabetic, or you know what I mean? Like, and if your doctor is like, you need to get on this for sure, do what your doctor says. Always have a second opinion too. But like, the girls that are just abusing it, like that's, the people that are abusing it, it's tough. Yeah. It really is. And, but like that also, again, has nothing to do with me.
There you go. There you go.
Now, you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, be blessed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want to do, be blessed. But like, I think it gets tricky when the medication is not available for then people that actually need it.
Yeah. Do you feel like, with you and who you are and how you show up on screen, do you feel pressure to change or do things differently since this drug has gone so gangbusters? I've been so surprised by how quickly it took off.
What? It's so funny you asked me that, because I think around season 1 of Ghosts, I didn't feel as polished when we would do it's a little bit of the Ozempic. It's a little bit of the Ozempic conversation, but like, we would do interviews and things like that. And I remember asking my cast member Brandon Scott Jones, and I was like, I don't know, should I like change up my vibe and the things that I do? Like, I don't feel as polished as y'all in interviews, and like, I don't know, like, I was styling myself at that point. And he was like, I think changing yourself is the worst thing that you can do, because you as yourself is how you book this role, and how and that's why the industry loves you. And
if you looked drastically different in season 3, I'd be like,
it'd be
who
nuts.
is that?
What happened to that Ghost? Is she all right? So I think him saying that really, to be honest, gave me the confidence to just show up in spaces as I am. And like, I cannot do an Ozempic. I'm terrified of needles. So that's not gonna work for I'm like, just do that. Like, it's another reason why I'm like when my husband and I, we're thinking about doing IVF, like, that's going to be a struggle for me. That's it's going to be a lot. And so, but I still like to maintain my health. Like, I swim. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still be running and like doing all that. But I'm like, I just need to be myself. That's it.
That is it's so refreshing to hear you say that, because I feel like a lot of other women and men in the industry now are facing the pressure.
Yeah. It's to go back to factory settings, as I call it. And I'm like, the industry is so wishy-washy.
There you go.
You need to be stable in content, content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as long as you are standing on business, like, that's all that matters, because this industry is going to tell. I had a friend that was like, his manager was like, and when he first got in the industry, was like, you got to get a nose job. Your nose is too ethnic. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That manager.
I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a beautiful Nigerian man. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
And so, like, people are going to tell you so many things. You just have to follow your own gut. Do not let people try to change you and try to do it. No. Yeah. Stand on business, and literally, this is cyclical, as we said.
Exactly. Well, and, there are so many really big stars now who are saying, I'm not going to chop my face up to high heaven, because how am I going to book roles as a 60-year-old with a 35-year-old face?
Friend, when I tell you, I'm just trying to age like the British.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just do it.
The British baddies, they just leave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they just let it be. They're like, this is what y'all gonna get.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's gonna be on this side of the 405.
There you go. There you go. Because I'll watch some shows now, and I won't name names, but I'm like, what are you supposed to be on the screen?
No
what
idea.
Age are you? What space in the world you occupy? You can't express nothing.
But again, whatever people want to do, that has nothing to do with me.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, that has whatever y'all want to do. Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
And we honor you.
We honor you.
We honor you.
Yeah.
But on this side of the 405,
there you
go. This is what you're gonna get.
This is it. And Sherman Eyes.
And Sherman Eyes.
That's what you get.
This is what you're gonna get, honey.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Pie in the Sky.
Okay. Apple.
This show goes on. This show goes on for 5 more seasons.
Yeah.
You finish it, and you have your pick of whatever you want to do next. We've talked a bit about a scamming show, something like that, but unlimited budget, whatever the project is. Name it, claim it, speak it. Give me the storyboard. Give me the tagline, logline for it right now.
Oh my gosh. I have this animation called Larissa the Killer Whale.
Okay.
It was inspired from the Netflix documentary Blackfish. Do you remember that?
Blackfish
and
was a big deal.
It is about this killer whale, Larissa, who is in jail at Sea Globe.
No, why is she in jail?
She's incarcerated, falsely incarcerated. Oh. She gets out, and she lives with her sister Tasha, because she needs a space to live. Yeah. Tasha is with George, who is a great white shark with even greater white privilege. And she is trying to navigate in the Atlantic Ocean her new life outside of jail.
Wow.
She has a friend named Henrietta, who is a Cajun shrimp.
I love this.
Okay. And who's also she wants to be a rapper like Meg Thee Stallion. She's an aspiring rapper.
Yeah.
And I am obsessed with sea documentaries, ocean documentaries. It goes deep. It's real. Like David Attenborough, if I could meet him, it would be a dream come true. And so this is my hood Finding Nemo.
Do it. Do it.
Essentially.
Finding Jaquan.
This would be my dream project, because it's voiceover. If I have kids at that point, you know what I mean? I can still put it on tape and still be a mom. And so doing more animation would be a dream realized. So yeah.
I love this. What does Larissa sound like?
She sounds like me, but just a little bit more Jersey.
Hell yeah.
A little bit more Jersey.
Would watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great. Netflix, hello.
Yeah. You had me when you said, and the killer whale's name is Larissa.
Oh yeah. She was in jail with 2 carp shakur. It was there were some tricky fish. There were tricky fish there, and so it's her now establishing her new life and what it looks like, being on dating apps and
I love that.
Trying to just have a great relationship with her sister now.
I love that. You are, and you have been really vocal, not just in being in the industry and working, but talking about your experience, talking about what it's like to be you and navigate this industry. We've talked about you working on kind of both sides of casting, helping out with casting, also trying to get cast yourself. I think a lot of folks will be hearing your story. Yeah. And they'll look at your endless positivity and this really good gig you got right now and be like, tell me the secret. Yeah. For someone listening or watching who is trying to break in Didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
For me personally, 20 plus years of hard work.
That.
To be an overnight success. It took 20 plus years to be an overnight success. And I'm so grateful that I took the stairs to success and not the elevator.
That.
Because it's so fascinating that you can be in the industry that this long and still be introduced to people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just met Viola Davis. She invited me to her home.
Okay.
I've had dinner with Jane Fonda recently, Lena Waithe, and Niecy Nash, and like these women have just poured into me in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
And for me, the secret was 20 plus years, but for you, it may be different.
Yeah.
It could really be overnight, especially with how social media works.
Yeah.
But I do believe the path that I've taken will lead to a lot of longevity. I don't see myself just as an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a producer as well, too. And so I'm learning these other forms of the craft as well. And I think for anyone that is trying to get into the industry, just kind of start studying the other parts as well.
Yeah.
Because when one doesn't feed you, the other might.
Yes.
You know, and so when you're, and also for me, I think a dream from your previous question, once Ghost is over, I would love to get back on stage.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I would love to do, because I'm classically trained and I haven't done Shakespeare in a long time.
Okay, what's your favorite Shakespeare?
King Lear. To do King Lear, or to do, my gosh, Much Ado, or any of the comedies, or to do a Greek tragedy like Trojan Women, or just any of that. I'm desperate.
I love it.
On All Black, Three Sisters. I just saw Hedda recently and I'm like, yes!
I hear it's the truth. I hear it's really good. Oh
my God, Tessa was incredible. And so that's another thing that I would love to get back to. But the secret for me, it was 20 plus years of hard work and an amazing community that never let me stop.
I love that. Yeah, it's I tell folks all the time, folks who like want to pursue journalism, I'm like, think about it. Yeah. Because it might not be here in 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's it. You want to try it.
Yeah.
You want to try it. You want to do it. Like, the secret is there's no secret because it's not rocket science. We're not rocket scientists.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, in any profession that is creative or, intellectual, you have to be prepared to receive some kind of rejection the entirety of your career.
Yeah.
The entirety of your career.
And stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I think that's the other big thing. It's like, for actors specifically, I'm like, make sure that reel is updated because you never know. You may go to a party and somebody like, oh yeah, send me your materials, and then you don't want to be up for 2 days and lose that opportunity because you weren't ready.
Exactly.
So make sure your reels are updated. You got some good pictures.
Yeah.
Check your IMDb.
There you go.
And make sure that you're ready.
Yeah.
That's it. Because the opportunity can come at any time.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. We do something here on the show where we have our guests share pop culture hot takes.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. One of my favorite hot takes on this show ever, our guest, Kara Brown, a TV writer, all-around great person. She said, my hot take is that most, if not all, Beatles songs sound best when sung by Black people.
Okay.
And I said, okay, that tracks. Okay. My personal hot take is that all movies should be 90 minutes and that commercials aren't bad. We convinced ourselves with the rise of streaming that, like, we shouldn't have to see ads anymore. It's like, baby, it's capitalism. Yeah. And some commercials are good. Anyway, all this to say, if you have any burning entertainment or pop culture hot takes, we'd accept them right now.
We need more all-Black holiday movies.
Yeah.
We need more all-Black holiday movies.
Yeah.
Because
they be singing down.
Down. This Christmas is like one of my favorite. I mean, and even Queen Latifah's. What was the one where she went to like Switzerland or something? Like
even Soul Food was a holiday movie.
Essentially,
right?
We need more Black holiday movies. I play Black Mrs. Claus online.
Yes,
and it is my favorite thing to do. And my hopes is to turn it into a film because I think that Mrs. Claus truly, truly runs the show.
Come on,
she is the North Pole,
She's
and
the
I
CEO.
believe that she. Okay. Holiday boss in charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Santa is her driver.
Yeah, exactly. Drive the sleigh, babes. And I just think that she is just such a diva. I feel like she has a podcast called Ho Ho Hold Up. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just think she is everything, all the latest fashions.
Yes.
Like, everyone loves her. She's working on the Naughty and Nice Excel spreadsheet right now.
Yes.
The Lords of Leaping, she's giving them, packages because the Lord of Leaping, who had the Timberlands, leapt into an iceberg. Oh gosh, we're sending you new Tims. I just feel like we need more all-Black holiday comedies.
I love that. Also, this is the thing. Black people, I think, culturally, over-index for Christmas.
Yeah.
We love Christmas so much.
Matching pajamas.
Come on.
I mean, the spread.
Come on.
The foods. Are
we
you
gonna
kidding?
Eat. Church is going to be lit. The
Christmas cantata alone.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Come on.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
And like black folks of a certain age will watch that good Christmas film 8 times.
Yes.
Over and over and over again.
What is that, Queen Latifah? Because what was it? Holiday.
We're gonna find out. Queen Latifah
I gotta get
holiday
it because I'm
movie.
like, I gotta give my girl a shot. Last Holiday.
Okay.
Last Holiday is one of my favorite.
Yes.
I mean, Queen Latifah can do no wrong.
And she's still out here working.
Still here, Tisha Campbell. Okay,
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
Between that and this Christmas, that goes on a loop for me.
Yes.
It does. And so we need to be doing. We do need to be Lifetime. Pull it together. We need more.
I like that. All right, that's a good one. Any other hot takes? I like yours.
Any hot takes? Other ones? I would also say every season of Love Island should be viewed in the we should be able to have these DVDs in the library.
Oh.
I feel like this is
say more.
This last season of Love Island, I was like, this is such a study on human interaction and arranged coupleship, if you would. And I don't know, it's one of the most fascinating social experiments.
Oh yeah.
My best friend was obsessed with this show, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch immediately.
Really?
I was hooked.
See, I watched the pilot and I was like, you mean to tell me I got to watch more of this every day for the next few weeks?
It's nuts.
How many hours of viewing is it?
They're filming every day. Like there's a new episode that comes out every day. And I'm like.
And you got to watch it to be caught up so you can see it.
Have to.
Oh my God.
It is a pop culture this Nick and Alandria situation. And like
I've heard of them, Nick Alandria, right?
It's nuts. And then because Alandria was essentially with Taylor.
Okay.
Right? Taylor wasn't feeling her. And we knew, and as viewers, we knew this, but Alandria wasn't really catching on. Nick and Alandria actually ended up, they were, do you see me? I'm like,
love this. You're really getting in there. Let's go.
They essentially were kicked off the show. And then the producer was like, no, viewers love y'all. Y'all going to come back as a couple.
Oh.
Nick was with another girl.
So they brought them back.
They brought them back.
Drama.
Brought them back, but he was with Sierra.
Okay.
Sierra left Love Island, had to get kicked off because of racial slurs.
Oh.
Exactly. And
okay.
so Nick and Alandria now, they were like, oh, we don't know. But the viewers, we were rooting for them. And so now, post-show, Alandria essentially is like, and this is also the show too. It's like, what are they doing after? Alandria is like going to be the next top model.
Okay.
Like she is at every fashion show. She is like a brand ambassador, and so is Nick. And I was like, they're smart. Okay. I love the show. I probably have a better hot take other than Love Island being in like the National Library.
Good one.
I think because I think in 20 yeyears or 30 years or when the spaceships are down here and the aliens, they will be able to like look at what.
That's what y'all are like.
They'll be able to look at us and be like, oh, what a great social experiment. That's what human life was like.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I want my hot take to follow your hot take. I would love for some art house production company to make a show like Love Island or Love is Blind or whatever, but give them like an insurmountable challenge in the midst of it. Like make it to where they're all on the same island or the same house, but no one can talk. Wouldn't that be wild?
I would be obsessed. So it's essentially Quiet Place meets...
Yes! Quiet Place meets Love Island. Let's pitch it. We're pitching it. This is coming to you from... Oh, wait. Shermanized Productions.
Shermanized Productions. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it's a Quiet Place.
Like,
I'm into
something
it.
that makes them have to show their personality in different ways. How are you moving? How are you dressing? Do you dance? Do you move? Like,
I kind of am obsessed. So my dream is to pitch a TV series, unscripted, for people with food allergies.
Yeah.
And recently, I had the honor of cooking for Cynthia Erivo.
I love
and
that.
she is allergic to garlic and onions.
Yeah, and she's talked about it.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that in an interview, and I was like, huh? Okay, cool. And so I was like, that would be a great, and I literally remember seeing the interview being like, that would be a great challenge.
And then you got it.
I was like, oh, shoot. And so in Caribbean cooking, I mean, that's like the holy grail, like garlic, onions, peppers, like all of that.
Yeah.
And so I essentially was like, I don't want to end up in Variety for poisoning
Right?
our queen, a
Yes.
once-in-a-generational talent.
Yes.
So I looked at Obey and realized they didn't have those things in them, in the seasoning. I called Obey Corporate.
Stop.
I called Obey Corporate,
To
and I was
confirm.
like, I just need to know that y'all don't have any traces
That's
of this garlic and this
amazing.
onion. And I made her a roast chicken, and I did an escovitch fish without all of the bells and whistles. And we were using sumac and, you know, all
Okay.
kinds of ground pepper and
Yeah.
paprika. Like, we really got
Okay.
it together. And so it made me be like, man, I would love to see a version of Chopped for people that have this. Or
like
like they
that.
have a gluten allergy, so what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Or like, you know,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of things.
I like that.
Dairy.
Yes.
I would watch it.
I would watch it too. I would watch it too. Listen, this is your second reality show from your production company.
I'm telling you, Shermanized Productions.
Shermanized Productions. Heard it here first. I will say, thinking about Ghost and the success of that show and why I like it so much, I think that it works so well because there's a certain pacing and joke density that makes it
Yes.
just move. My hot take is that prestige TV or streaming TV should have to hit the same comedic
Yeah,
pacing and
velocity,
dialogue
yeah.
rhythms and velocity
Yeah.
that network does.
I agree.
Network got it right. There's some of these shows where it's like, you know, there'll be like a whole song montage
Yeah, and
where
you're
it's
like, let it
actors
go.
walking around touching
You know
stuff.
who I think did it really well was Atlanta.
Yeah.
That
they
first
moved.
season?
It moved.
That first, oh my gosh. I mean, that first season of Atlanta is truly diabolical.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
phenomenal. And I remember
Yes.
every week, like, just devouring that. And I felt like they did
Yeah.
it really, and Insecure as well, too.
Yeah.
Insecure did that really well. Yeah.
So my hot take is that all shows,
I
wherever
believe
they
it.
are, they should think like a sitcom.
Absolutely.
I think it is the most reliable television
Yeah.
art form there is. It works for everybody all the time.
Yes, it does.
That's my hot take.
I love
Sitcoms over
that.
everything.
I love that. I mean, honestly, and just it feels great to be on a sitcom that has, like, you know, 22 episodes.
There you go.
I don't think that's going to exist much longer.
Yeah.
You know, and so it just feels great to be a part of that, you know, that group.
It's beautiful. Listen.
I'm honored.
As you should be. I mean, it's so great. Well, and it, just to close the loop on sitcoms, I love a sitcom because you can do 22 episodes and have arcs over the course of a
Exactly.
season. But also, a good sitcom, you can dip in at any
And
one
ju-
episode, and it works.
It works every time.
It's the perfect format.
It works. It really is. And honestly, just, I have to say, I love Ghost. And y'all
Yes.
keep watching it.
Keep watching Ghost. And while you're at it, industry, make every show a sitcom.
Please.
Every show.
I would love it.
Come
I
on.
mean, I have
There
so
we
many
go.
sitcom ideas. I'm like, we
we
just
go.
need to get to work.
Yes, yeah. Shermanized. Shermanized.
Shermanized.
Danielle, it has been so great talking with you.
Thank you for having me.
So great watching your show. And I tell you what, you have brought so much fun energy into this room. It's going to stay
my
here for a
God.
while. I feel
Oh,
it.
I love
I feel
that.
it.
I love to
Yeah.
hear that. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. I've had a blast.
Ditto. Ditto. Come back whenever you want.
Okay, I will.
Yes, yes.
I
y'all
will, with apple
watch-
pie.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We'll see about that. Watch Ghost on CBS. All of you. Bye.